Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Anand said, Sir, I'm grateful to you for this opportunity and to you too to have such a brilliant group of people because what I'm going to talk to you today is not only about some science only, but some invitation to you, sir, that we may work together for something which is very important not only to this country but to the world. And we already initiated something here in Karachi and now in Islamabad also. That is, I worked with WHO also and UNESCO and, several UN organizations. I don't want to name that. But there, one feeling is that the herbal medicine or the traditional medicine, you call it Unani medicine, you call it Ayurveda, you call it whatever, there are different names, Kampo in Japan, for example. The problem with it is that there is a competition between allopathic and this medicine, and usually each other they discourage, saying that go there, don't come here, or if you come here, don't go there. So, and the reason is that it's a billion-dollar business of medicine. So that's why people are mainly focusing on one type. Though we believe that there should be integrated system of medicine, and for that, the other side, when we talk about herbal medicine, they usually say it's thousands of years of journey. So therefore, we don't need any clinical trial, for example. It is proven, for example. So we want a middle way. Your WHO is thinking that there are not much of the clinical trial available on herbal medicine. I mean the scientific data. So evidence-based science, what we call it. So today, what I'm going to talk to you is one, the importance, whatever we were doing in our labs. And my labs are basically still, I'm distinguished national professor, so I have a lab in Qaeda University, Islamabad, where students are still working on this. So sharing with you what we did and what importance of it is. Then two, an invitation to Raza that we started clinics, herbal medicine clinic, and you all invite you to visit just this Gulshan. We have a new establishment of Karshi Health Clinic, which is free for everybody, including the medicine. You can go, you can, if you have some problem, discuss with, there are two doctors around the clock available there. You will be diagnosed and you will be given free medicine. And this we want to take further, that we want that Raza, myself, being, we are in fact born from different parents in different areas, but we are real brothers. So we have trust on each other. Sometimes, the trust deficit also plays a negative role to discourage science. But we are one, and our aim, both of us, is to serve this humanity to the best of our whatever energy we have, because we know that we will die today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. This life is unpredictable. So whatever we can do, let's do for the human. Leave behind something good legacy. So that is it. And that's why, sir, I request you earlier. I remain the president of National Council for TIP. The TIP means herbal medicines. There is a council of federal government under the health ministry, and I remained their president for 5 years. We were discussing all that. We were doing all that at that time. And I work with Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan, where I'm involved in approving the herbal medicine. I'm in the committee. So what I want you is that when Ataur Rahman asked me some year or two back or 3 years back that we want to have this clinical trial sort of things established here in ICCBS, and then so I guided them, sent them all the requirements, etc. So we can rejuvenate that seedlings that I wanted to plant, and then we can work on it. One, two, we have very good, you have very good brain here, human resource from Africa and from different places. We will involve them too, and this will be, then replicated elsewhere. So these are 2, 3 invitations for you that we will work together and we start doing this thing. And not only on herbs, I'm telling you, there are something, believe me, it's unfortunately not properly recorded, but a lot of potential in it. For example, it's not only hearsay, it's a practical happening. Uh, For breast cancer, I will share with you stories that my lab is basically working on it, and there are a lot of data, a lot of patients in Pakistan, excuse me. So we are working at that, and there were several examples that people came with breast cancer, went to the doctors, and they said, so I mean, after treatment, they say, so it's not working, so maybe a week or two, and this patient is gone. And when it starts, some particular herbs I will show you, believe me, they were still living for several years. And they were the relatives of the senior scientists in the country. Finally, they came to my lab and said, oh, we read about your papers or blah, please guide us. And then it helped. But if we do little more effort, record it, work on it, maybe we can register something. And part of it, I will be telling you that maybe we can use nanotechnology, which my lab is also using. We can work on that. I don't know how it works, but let me try. So this is what I'm talking to you about the new era of medicine. I have a lot of slides for you. Believe me, I reduce it from some 300 to less than 100, but I try to cover it in 40 minutes. Will try my best. Uh, and then the opportunity, Pakistan, for example, what we have, why we are important, like that, and then the gap between what's needed to be done and what's being done. And there on the other side, the whole presentation, first, importance of Pakistan, biodiversity, two, these modern tools that we have, can we use it, nanotechnology, for example, clinical trial, and what should we be doing? And the practical application, as I said, we already established a clinic there. Please go there, visit there, treat yourself and your relatives free of cost, anybody, from the street even. No cost, because I remain CEO of that industry. And in return, I asked for these facilities, which I got, and medicine is there. So you just go, even if you are predicting that you are ill, you are not ill, you can just go and enjoy some free medicine. And then finally, the impact on future outlook, requesting the director ICCBS to kindly be on board to have all this. How can we go forward? First of all, Pakistan. I love to say this sentence everywhere, wherever I go, that this is the only country in the world which stretches from 0 meter to 8,611 meter. There is no country which has this diversity. We have an Everest which is little above our K2, but they wish to have some place like Karachi, for example. They don't have plains. They are all mountainous regions, whoever been to Nepal or Kathmandu. So this is Pakistan, where we have everything in our country. So Allah Almighty has given you the best peace available in the world. It's we, the nikammas in our language, that we didn't get benefit out of it. Otherwise, this is the best peace that you have. So this is number one. And then we have, if we talk only about the higher plant, the flowering plants, there's 6,000 species, which is a very good number. And because of diversity, it's really diverse. And some are only in this country, specifically in the north, from where I come. So that is that we can, and then knowledge legacy, we had a prehistoric, we have, like in this country alone, when agriculture was first started by the men who were living in the caves, the remains are in this country, 10,000 years ago. First, when they started how to, and where they were male or female. What do you think? Who started agriculture? Male or female? The first time, when they were wild, they were living in the caves. What do you think? Who may have started it? Male or female? Any guess? Why? Why female? What female has to do with agriculture? Huh? Any idea? Okay, let me give you a clue. The reason was they were hunters or gatherers. They were going out to hunt and gather seeds, something to eat. The ladies were usually around the cave. So they watched, they are good observer. Even day to day, they know when they look at the men, they know what kind of men are they. So they are very good observer. They know, they can read. So what they were doing is they were around there, saw, some seeds are there, the next time it will grow. And when they try to put like this, they're plowing, etc., etc. So it was the ladies who started agriculture, not only here, but in many places. So a bit story I'm tracking from my area, but so this is the natural. And the third important thing is the growth in this field. It's really the percent, if you look at here, 532 US billion dollar, there was and the growth rate sometimes 18%. This is a really huge growth. So you all have a potential to work in this field and to get benefit of it. So almost 80% of the world population somehow, and specifically in the developing world, what you call it, the low and middle income country, they use these plants for their things. Of course, on one side, now how to fix it? Just one slide for this modern things like genetic, because I work on all this, genetic variation, individual drug, personalized drug, this future of war, pharmacogenomics, drug efficiency and safety, all this. On one side, this development, another side, I'm talking about the thousands years old kind of stories that I'm believing. So we have to mix both. We should not isolate each other. And this is what I would be advocating now. And if you look at the global, what I said, the growth of all this very quickly, what kind of, is there any light in it? If not, I just, the powder or extract or syrups, this is how it is. And the other side, the areas where it's mainly by category, herbal pharmaceutical or dietary or supplements, etc., etc. This is how it is being used. Here, some data just as a student for you, that whether it is used as a whole plant, as a fruit, as a root, as a leaf, etc., etc. So this is figure of all that is being used globally, all these by the people in the world that is there. And now I just give you an example of India. We love to compare ourselves with India in several places. So believe they have an independent ministry for this. Ayush. And Ayush is that Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy. There's a ministry for that. And the funds that they utilize only for medicinal plants, etc., and all other is a huge amount. Remember that their currency is far stronger than us. But they use a huge amount of money. She's the minister of that, and they have a job, they have hospitals and everything. So if we want to compete, here is a challenge for you. This is from China. Just I work with them. There is an organization with this Road and Belt Initiative, ANSO, which I am the international advisor. Assalamu alaikum, sir. So I've worked with them and I went there and advised them. So they have special words for herbal medicine, like a gynae word and surgery word and everything using herbal medicine. So these are your neighbors and just a couple of stories for you. And now this nanotechnology. I mean, on one side, the 1,000 years old story, and now I'm coming to the today's world where majority of you or many of you are working, as I do on both sides. So it's which is interdisciplinary. You have to go beyond traditional formulations, and you have to have the delivery system now available for you. You know all the benefits that you can get a minute part of it. You can save biodiversity as well as you can get modern medicine out of it. So this is what now, how could we do from the lab to the lifestyle, which I give. And just for you all are more educated than I am. What nano is, what does it mean, and all this. I'm not going into that detail. I expect that you all know this. So that's why I'm going a little quicker here. And then it's synthesis and how do you use it. My lab is using it, so do your labs maybe. And that's why I'm not again repeating whatever you know. The application of the nanoparticles in different, then there are questions in it, of course. And that's why when we start working together, that it being heavy metal there as a drug, as a intake, what should you be doing, and how should we be minimizing the negative impact, if any. So that too we will discuss, or at least we start with the skin kind of product. I will be giving you some international example that we all are planning. How can we really work on all this? And that's the other thing that I would love to talk about. Now, and again, I will not talk about this too much because I'm sure that you have studied all this. Clever drugs, what we call it now, the targeting moiety and the carrier kind of things, that nanotechnology is being used. to reach there, to target your things and not to waste other things and not to harm you too much physically. So these are the other that now the carrier to hit the target, you can use herbal minute product using your technology and reaching the target that you want to hit, the disease you call it, or the problems that a human being or animal or anything is facing. And now this use of all this medicine, of course, in any kind of thing, is being, considered like cancer treatment. I will be giving you examples, several examples. There are a lot of data available for TB, for Alzheimer, and as a target drug delivery system. So this is what that's why I went quick, because I assume that you may have discussed this in your classrooms. And of course, nano-emulsion, nano-vaccines, and breath analyzer, etc., from lung cancer, that this is being used. Another thing, again, this is the all symbolizing one slide for you, the use of nano or biotechnology, whatever you call it, from target delivery to nano-pharmaceutical to medicine, and here to the various kind of diseases that you face. So the most important thing with this is, earlier, basically, by training, I am a botanist, but converted and finally coming here. And this is the need of the hour, that you young people, earlier we were saying master of what? But now we say you should be jack of everything. You should be knowing a little bit about everything if you want to be a successful person. Because in your narrow field, even the students do not get admission, for example, in plants and zoology and botany like this. In our universities, we are closing down those disciplines. People are coming to the interdisciplinary kind of discipline that they are needed, whether it's IT or whether it's biological sciences. So there is that you should be knowing that this discipline, nanotechnology or biotechnology, which include not only biology, engineering, physics, chemistry, but they are involved with a lot of other things also, and now AI also included in all this. So that's why you should be knowing many things about nano, that if you want to work on this. And of course, then when you use the particles for carrier, for things, that's what I said, that if you want to approve something, the problem with this is that heavy metals, you call it silver, you call it zinc, you call it, gold particle, that's being discussed internationally, that how could we really be doing a system that these are minimize the impact of all this that we have. And then, of course, alcohol-free kind of thing being Muslims, we are usually, it's used everywhere, even in cough syrup, there is alcohol. If I tell my wife, she will never have alcohol, that syrup. Mera mazhab kharab ho jayega. So that's why we need to, talk about the alternative ways of mechanism if you want to talk about all this. But the best thing that we propose, or we are doing, is this cosmetics. That there are a lot of products available globally that are having nanoparticles and that are being used and that are really very famous. I will be showing you examples. And this is what in my lab we are trying to have. We have already patented, and now that's what I was asking, that I'm having too many hats on my head and I don't find time to work. So maybe Raza, a young man working 20 hours a day, I know he's a very busy person, so he could help us. How can we do? These are those products available in the market having nanoparticles on cosmetics alone, and this was in 2012. Now it is doubled almost. So, and look at these companies. These are all very famous countries globally. Having their products are famous. Ladies usually want at least, even if it's what we call it in our language, door number, but they love to have branded kind of things. So that's what's already there. And these are those products. For example, I just picked few of them so that you could know that whatever you are using, and I have circled how much percent of nanoparticle they are being used, and it's really working. It's really working. Oh, in our language, I'm sorry, those who doesn't understand Urdu, you should be at least knowing something. Okay, kale nu gora kar de gore nu chan varga. I don't know, whatever English you know, maybe my best friend is sitting here, so he can translate what to do with this. So this is one aspect. The other aspect is for the anti-cancerous kind of thing that we are working, and I will be showing you some examples. First, the facts and figures. Maybe you all know about this. The lung cancer that we have, liver, stomach, breast, etc. And if you look at the red, this is Pakistani data. We are really, really in trouble. Specifically, when we talk about the breast cancer data, it's every year a lot of patients are coming, and we have to find solution for that. And this is because of the lifestyle, because of several reasons that we are having. But because of our culture, shyness, they are not, informing their parents, etc. Young ladies, and they are getting it, and that's what we have to find. And what they say, 109 women die every 24 hours in Pakistan alone because of breast cancer. So that is that we have to, 1 in 8 women suffer from breast cancer in Pakistan. Every 8th woman is suffering from it. So we have to find out some other solution, because the traditional way of treatment, I mean allopathy, available chemical and other treatment are not that effective. So what to do with this then? These are again the reasons why we are having, and the global data about the various kind of cancers. This includes your life habit. This includes drinking habit or alcohol. In Karachi alone, my every third, fourth employee is having mouth cancer because of vodka. I don't know whatever they are doing, and now I have to pass a rule that I will not treat them. But stop it. Everywhere. So this is a kind of a strange, and they know that they are dying. So there are issues that we, as I said, Gutka there, that's specifically in this region, is a typical problem, and we have to find solution again for them. And the economic cost at the bottom, I had mentioned it just for you, 1.16 trillion US dollar was estimated in 2010 for cancer alone, that they were spending. So there are various kind of available very quickly, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, or surgery. But the problem associated with that, like radiotherapy, then fatigue, skin problems, etc., for chemotherapy and for surgery, the side effect that we are having. It's not only that you may die, but the life that you are having is not of a quality life. Because when you treat yourself, you're really in deep, deep trouble. So then what to do with cancers? This is the field that we want to talk about, cancer nanomedicine. How could it work? We already working on this. What's the mechanism? What's the scientific background, etc. It's being worked, and a lot of publication, etc. are available, and we are really close to the solutions that how will this treat the cancerous human cell. Again, I'm not going to detail because I want to share with you a lot of information. So minor detail I skipped. Just this one, last decade's publication. We have at least 100 publications from my lab alone. And some of the, very good that were internationally quite famous are some of the plants, Pakistani plants, that we were trying to get nanoparticle and treat the various at lab level on mouse and on different cancerous cell, that how it was. So a lot of publications in the last few years, and we tried to target the diseases that our country is facing and find solution to this. So, and we do all different things that you are doing here, like XRD, ATR, FTR, Raman, etc., etc. And so Pakistani plants and all this publication that I'm just quitting it. You may find it on Google through our name that they are available. This is again the data of the breast cancer in our newspaper, that what's happening and who will find solution for all this. So our scientist responsibility is to focus on our own problems and find solution through our own resources that we have. So there is one is the steucrium, we use it, but the other, the very important plant that I would love to talk about is this not only Monotheca buxifolia, but the plant that is known as Fegonia. We call it locally Damasa. This is the plant that we work a lot. We produce several PhDs and FLs. They are now abroad. They are working, and we are very close to the target of treating breast cancer through this plant. And this is being used for several, what we call it locally hakims in the country, traditional healers. They are using it as specifically in the North Sabat and Dir area. I was there last week too. They have found solution to that. So we are trying, beside having, using as a raw drug, about the nano and other particle, how could it work? So this is, sir, one option that we may work here with you and to find some kind of patents and registering and then working on the clinical trial in our clinics, etc. But when we work on it, the best part of the study was that it is not the plant material that it works, it is endophytic fungus within the plant that treats or that kills cancerous cell in the body. So when you take a plant, it's actually the fungus is killing the cell. So this is the science that tells you when you go into the minor details that how, and that endophytic fungus we finally identified, and now the final thing that we are going to, even the nanoparticle of that fungus that we will be using and that will be working to treat different kind of, not only cancerous cell, but other infectious diseases. It is known as a blood purifier to clean your body also, to, if you have some kind of pimples, etc. So that also it works. So we had a lot of work on this plant, as I said, all different kind of activities, you name it, and people did it. Specifically, our ladies were very good female students. They had a lot of work on this. But the most important aspect that it came under this was this DNA barcode. You know how we got interested in this? There was a publication by some UK scientists, incidentally. They bought a plant from Karachi. They studied, they published, oh, this is very good for breast cancer. They did some compound of it. But when we had that paper, we said this plant is not found in Pakistan. So how do you say this? Well, then they said, so this was basically a taxonomic error. So one of our branch in my lab is this DNA barcode. This is what a lesson for you, that you need to have, as a chemist, you don't know, somebody say this is the plant, but then now with this modern technology, we can administer, God forbid if we are all, die because of some reason, and our faces are not there, from our one hair, they can identify who is that person. So same is true for these plants. So this is what our lab was doing. Then we did it. We collected all the genus Fagonia from the country and neighboring country, and we informed them. We did those DNA barcodes. What is DNA barcode? You know the coding region of yourself and the living organism, the conserved region in the individuals and in the plants, and then finally we come. So this is one of the things that we say now, chemists need to be in love affair with taxonomy, DNA barcoding, so that your results are finally non-controversial or used for years. So this was one lesson that I wanted to bring it for you. And then there are a lot of global problems that what you get is not actually, UK, they had a study, they had a tea product from different countries in the market, and they found that actually there were at least 60 different species particle in the tea. So whatever they were taking, they said, it's not from the tea, it's another thing in it also. So that is a contamination when they pluck the leaves of the plants, the tea. So this is what you get. It's not what its name, because still we need people like you, young people, to identify correctly in the industry. And in my industry here in Pakistan, we have this discipline. We produce product based on DNA barcodes. And then we say, whatever you're getting is whatever is written on it. So that's what This was like this story which I told you. This was that paper published by Lamb in Plus One. This was, I think, 2012 or somewhere. And then we started work and we did DNA barcode. And DNA barcode is very easy. You know, you take the leaves, etc. And in future, you will have like your mobile, you will put living organism, whether insect or plant, and they will tell, oh, this is this. It's already very close to be in the market. Already with this AI, all data is available, so they are doing it will be like a GPS or thing. But in the market, you know, you will still find people standing, oh, you take this, you will be flying in here, you will be doing something very strange with the people like this. So, but what we need is, and then the storage of this is still a question mark. We need to work together to advise them how to store it, how to produce it, how to sell it, etc. And we have to address the problem of the country in terms of publication, you know. People are standing, the world is so far, but in our country still we say, oh, this is a story produced saying on a, let's say, tree, which is apple tree. Oh, this is apple. Oh, this is white. Oh, this is red. It's still an apple. It's still an apple. And hundreds of publication on that apple. So we need to go a little fast track now. Otherwise, we will be still. These are the products of Karshi that we are trying on nano sort of thing. These are very famous products in the market, from cough syrup to banafsha, etc. All people are knowing all this. Anti-fat and almond oil, blah, blah, blah. We are trying to use these basic products now, like the earlier I said, the other products that they're there, so that it is nanotechnology based product. We already started, and I invited, you know, my brother Raza to think about it. In the immediate future, we will have product, cosmetics, etc. And in the long run, this medicine available for fifth generation medicine, what we call it. So this is our two extremes that, brother, we too should start and working together to find things from lab to lifestyle, what I call it. This is AI. I asked them, we want to plan this. They said, oh, in a brief, this is this. So AI told me, this is what you should be planning from the now to the bigger thing. So if I close it with clinical trials, I mean from belief to evidence. Of course, you believe. For example, you say the funiculum, which we call it in local language, somf, is good for stomach. Okay, it's good for stomach, but why? So that is what we need to work, ensuring safety and efficacy, building credibility and gold standards for herbal medicine. So these are the basic things that we would be working. And this will not only be for Pakistan. As I said, with WHO, we are working, and they are worried because for herbal medicine, not many clinical trial institutes. For other are available. But for herbal medicine, registered chemical, registered places are not there. So that's what we really need to work. There are some, at least 19 have been identified. For example, it's a holy book, Quran, as a medicine. On one side, if you believe in religion. On another side, hypocrite like 460 years back, now almost 3,000 years back. They were having, whenever somebody was dying 10,000 years ago, when they were putting there some plants, they were putting with them. If they wake up, they can use it. So these are the things that they were already there, but we still want to work. There are some FDA-approved herbs based on evidence. So this is an example for us, but very, very few. So you will have a huge market globally too, that this is a place which is registered with DRAP, Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan, accredited, and we provide facilities for clinical trial on herbs. So you will get a lot of fund, resources internationally to use all this. So I don't want to talk about all this in detail, but I know the system, how will you establish it with the government of Pakistan, what kind of regulations are needed, what do you mean by an investigated product, etc. All these, because I'm their member, so we can work together. This was for you. The rules regulation that they are already there, pricing policy, etc., and approval, how you get it, and how you compliance with the rules available in the country. So And of course, various aspects of it, like patient safety, like informed consent, like ethical kind of things, monitoring and auditing. These are all there. But I propose this one, that we should have a chairman of, I mean, of the, you can appoint somebody, and I offer Director ICCBS to be the head of the system, and then my other people will work under him, and we'll have connections with hospitals and clinics and patients, and this is what we propose for future, that let's work together and find some kind of thing that could be benefit for the country. These are various, I mean, only available in the world that works on herbal clinics, trials, and there are only a few. So you will be a new entity, specifically South Asia. Only very, very few people are working. And the guidelines of WHO, safety, efficacy, standardization, quality. So this is the wellness that Kershif Vast Clinic that we have. We offer that's your property, and ICCBS visionary partnership. We should work together, and then mission and vision of how we work, how will we have this global market growth, how what we will capture from it through all this from journey discovery to the market. All these students can be accommodated there, many of them, and they can somehow work from phase 1 to phase 4. Because in herbal medicine, you don't need to work on animals. This is the good of it, because you have a background data available. So that step is being taken off internationally. You direct start with patient, but you have to record data, and then you have to produce it. So a bit simpler than this is what our clinic is at the time doing. Facilities, we have diagnostic facilities, our students are intern, our workforce for future leaders, and these programs already, this is my first lecture, by the way, for that clinic, because it was very recently, last month, I think, or 2 weeks back, it was established, and he caught me, hold of myself, and I'm here to tell you all these stories that why this is important. I thought it's better to have something practical for you that we can work on all that. So this initiative, of course, the objectives are to promote innovation and to foster collaboration and partnership and empowering herbal industry, its growth, etc., for the country and for the world. And our young people will be accommodated, many of them in this. And of course, we will have sustainable development, economic health, etc. And we will have global recognition too. We will be leaders in that field if we start doing on all this. And of course, I don't want to narrate all of you why academia and industry partnership. These are all those buzzwords that you are listening every now and then. But this will be a practical steps that if we start working together, that will be really helping us a lot. So let me conclude, ladies and gentlemen. I think I spent off. I'm sorry, well, it's more 5 minutes more, I think, than I was asked to 40 to 45 minutes. So let's blend old and new. The grandfather and the grandchild working together, having those ideas of, from thousands of years with the modern world. And then, now we are FOST, Karshi, ICCBS, and many others can join us. And these are the final thoughts that we are not just creating product, but we are building foundation for a healthier, more sustainable future. Together, we can foster a culture of holistic health and academic excellence while advancing diagnostic and research capabilities and capacities. There are a lot of opportunities, student engagement, research collaboration, community outreach, innovation, etc. Now, the call of action is for faculty, advocate this if you like it, please comment. We'll be open for question. For students, embrace these opportunities. Don't look for the government job alone. Let's find things for you to work, and you be the leader. You should not be one employee in one organization. You should be a person who should employ 100 of people under him. So let's do that kind of thinking. So this is what we plan. These are the people. It's not me. I'm just a spokesperson, by the way. I'm a salesman. These are the people behind all this. These are only few. There are many. So I took the recent picture of one of the viva examination of one of my PhD students, probably. So what we can do is learn from those animals how they cross a difficult path. I wish that we are at least little more intelligent than they are. So we say we are ashraful makhlukat, but I don't know whether we are or not. हम तो शायद एक दूसरे को धक्का देते हैं ना. So look at them. And finally, thank you, Raza, Riyazuddin. I was trying to say Riyazuddin and Riyazuddin, but I hope I can spell it properly. I'm grateful, and my leader and all follow Raza. You are the head of all of us, and we are all the heads of following you. So that was you, and I am looking forward for a brighter future. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Raza.